Imagine living near the border. The night is quiet, the forests still, and then the wailing begins. Not from people, but from loudspeakers. Screams, moans, and ghostly cries ripple through the darkness. That's not a scene from a horror movie. It's what Cambodia claims is happening right now along its frontier with Thailand. Human Rights Commission of Cambodia has accused the Thai military of psychological warfare, broadcasting what it calls haunting, high-pitched ghost sounds and aircraft engine noises into Cambodian villages. The aim, according to the complaint, is to frighten civilians and pressure local authorities along the border. It's a bizarre and chilling allegation that's turning a tense ceasefire into something almost surreal, a border haunted by both politics and sound. The controversy began when Cambodia's former leader, and now Senate President, Hun Sen posted a message on Facebook. In his statement, the 73-year-old strongman shared a letter from Cambodia's Human Rights Commission addressed to the UN High Commissioner for Human Rights, Volker Turk. The document accused Thai soldiers of projecting ghostly noises and aircraft sounds throughout the night in villages near the disputed border. The Commission described these sounds as disturbing and high-pitched, claiming they have disrupted sleep, provoked anxiety, and caused physical discomfort among residents. The letter warned that these actions represent a grave violation of human rights and could escalate tensions between the two countries. For Cambodia, the wailing isn't just noise. It's a deliberate act of psychological intimidation. To understand how something as strange as ghost sounds could trigger a diplomatic storm, we have to look at the long, uneasy history between these two neighbors. The Thai-Cambodian border has been a flashpoint for decades, shaped by overlapping territorial claims, nationalism, and the legacy of colonial-era maps. The most famous dispute centered around the ancient Preah Vihear Temple, where deadly clashes in 2011 killed over 20 soldiers from both sides, and this year, history seemed to repeat itself. After months of growing hostility, open fighting erupted again, the worst in more than a decade. At least 38 people were killed and more than 300,000 displaced. Cambodia accused Thai troops of crossing into its territory, while Thailand blamed Cambodian landmines and militants. The ghostly broadcasts are only the latest chapter in this long, volatile story. By July, international mediators stepped in to halt the bloodshed. Malaysia hosted talks that produced an immediate and unconditional ceasefire between the two countries. The deal was partly pushed through after then US President Donald Trump personally called both governments, warning that American trade talks would be paused if fighting continued. The ceasefire calmed the guns, but not the mistrust. In the months that followed, smaller incidents continued. Accusations of spying, renewed landmine explosions, and now reports of psychological warfare. Phnom Penh's complaint to the United Nations shows how quickly that fragile peace is fraying. It's not just about noise anymore. It's about who controls the narrative of the border and who gets to define peace. Thailand, meanwhile, has not officially commented on the accusations, but its defense officials have quietly pushed back against Cambodia's claims, arguing that the border remains stable and that Thai troops are only responding to new provocations. Bangkok has accused Cambodian forces of laying new mines along the frontier, explosives that have maimed at least 6 Thai soldiers since July. Cambodia firmly denies the allegation, saying the detonations were caused by old mines left from its decades-long civil war. During that period, especially under the Khmer Rouge in the 1970s and 80s, the border was heavily militarized and seeded with millions of explosives. Those remnants still make Cambodia one of the most mined countries on earth. Today, both nations are haunted, not just by the sounds of the present, but by the ghosts of past wars buried beneath their feet. To many, this ghost war might sound absurd, even theatrical, but psychological warfare through sound is neither new nor unique to this conflict. During the Vietnam War, US forces used a campaign called Operation Wandering Soul, broadcasting eerie voices and funeral music to terrify Viet Cong soldiers who believed in the spirits of the dead. The strategy preyed on deep cultural beliefs, turning superstition into a weapon. Decades later, similar tactics were reported in Iraq, where US troops blasted deafening heavy metal music to wear down enemy fighters. In this sense, Cambodia's claim fits a broader pattern, where sound itself becomes a battlefield. Whether or not the Thai army truly deployed ghost broadcasts, the psychological impact on villagers is undeniable. Fear spreads faster than facts, and for those living in the dark, even rumor can become reality. Beneath the supernatural imagery lies a political calculation. Cambodia's leadership, especially the Hun family, has long relied on nationalism to consolidate power. Hun Sen ruled for nearly 4 decades before handing the premiership to his son, Hun Mane, in 2023. For the elder Hun, taking a strong stance against Thailand allows him to project influence even in retirement. It also puts international pressure on Bangkok ahead of upcoming ASEAN meetings. By taking the issue to the United Nations and Malaysia, which helped broker the ceasefire, Cambodia is reframing the conflict not as a border skirmish, but as a human rights issue. Thailand, dealing with its own political turbulence and economic strain, has little desire to escalate further. Yet its silence has created a vacuum filled with speculation, unease, and fear. The more both sides avoid direct communication, the louder the echoes of conflict become. Later this month, as ASEAN leaders gather in Malaysia, Trump is expected to oversee a formal peace deal between Cambodia and Thailand, a symbolic step meant to reinforce the July truce. But the tension remains palpable. Thailand's accusations of landmines, Cambodia's claims of sonic harassment, and the lingering wounds of past wars all hover over the table like ghosts that refuse to leave. For the border communities in farmers, traders, and families, this isn't about diplomacy or politics. It's about trying to sleep through the night without fear, in the jungles and villages along the frontier, where superstition and trauma intertwine, sound becomes power. The faint wail from a speaker can turn into a haunting reminder of history, of neighbors divided by fear, pride, and unresolved scars. Because in Southeast Asia, the ghosts of history never really die. They simply find new ways to be heard.